My gosh, my hair's.
All right, welcome everybody to Tech Training Tuesday. It's July 14th. We got a good crowd here today. Before we get started on what you all showed up for on automate your weekly seller reports, does anybody have any questions about BrokerBot that you need answered? Anybody been using it this week that had some good feedback besides it was being a little particular?
I do
What
have
I
some
found,
feedback.
go ahead, Matt.
Well, at least the past couple of days, it has indicated that Zillow, Redfin, and any other major real estate website are rejecting its inquiries. So I'm curious if that's going to be a persistent thing in the future because it loses a lot of its value if it can't talk to its
Yeah.
primary source of data.
Yeah, what I'm finding out, and if you just cut and paste that and send that to tech or support, they'll look into it. What I found out that if we're having challenges with speed and efficiency with BrokerBot, it's because I've discovered we're what's called a power user. Power user meaning we're using it more than most offices. And because of the exchange of, what is it, tokens?
I don't know
They
what they
have to
call.
sometimes limit our token exchange use because what they're finding out is they've realized as they're building this thing and it's getting bigger and bigger, they're discovering uh, that it's bigger than they anticipated. So it's
Ready?
costing them money. So
I'm not
so they're
gonna take
kind of
him because
limiting
it's too
stuff
hot.
like that.
I think it's too hot for you.
So if you're finding it, just kind of just sit there and be patient or come back to it or put it away. I find if I walk away and come back, I'll get some of the answers I need. So yeah.
Sounds good.
And or
Well,
you I also find that swearing at it too helps.
I got two things that happen. You know how oftentimes when you ask them to use your headshot and they use somebody else that you've never seen it in your whole entire life before, when you're doing a presentation or something, I persisted. It probably took me 10 times. I said, no, you're using the wrong one. Oh, I'm sorry. And then I had to keep reloading my headshot. And finally, they got the right one. And then I had them change something. So then they got the wrong one. And then, yeah, but they finally got it right. But there was a thing. Please, there was a line item there. Please, if I'm not getting this right, and they finally did get it right. If I'm not getting it right, please contact, I forget her name, from Scott Leroy. So that was an interesting, that never happened before, but it's because I never persisted as much as I did. And then number two, they, uh, they were doing a CMA for me because I'm doing a list. I asked them to do a pre-listing packet for me, and they got all the stats right because I checked them. And then when I had them redo something, then they pulled all different ones and I told them it was wrong. And they went back, and this is to Matt's conversation. It said, according to Redfin, Realtor.com, and the MLS, here are the proper stats. And then they were right. So like you're saying, I don't know if you keep yelling at it or what, but it finally made a beautiful presentation for me.
Well, here's the good thing. What you're talking about right now is last Thursday, they have a broker bot meeting for all the brokers, and they talked about what they're doing with the upgrades that are coming up. And the one thing about the pictures, yes, that one's off. So they're fixing that. That's going to be their mid-year update that is coming out. So you'll be able to expect that. Um, they're doing some, let's see. Da, 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 da. I mean, they got a whole bunch of stuff coming in. They got email forwarding an email to your broker bot and it handles it. So for instance, let's say if you got your email connected and you want to go spend time with your kids at the park or you got a baseball game or softball game coming up and you're expecting some offers to come in on a listing, what it will do, you can tell Ellie or BrokerBot, you can tell Ellie, hey, I'm expecting an email from on this property. If I get it, please text me to let me know it's in. So you don't have to worry about stuff. You don't have to keep checking your email. It will text you and let you know. So stuff like that's coming up. A lot of autopilot stuff like scheduling tasks that I just talked about, watching your inbox. Today we're going to discuss running weekly seller reports. Um, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. And a lot more workflows, capabilities for you guys to be able to use more workflows within BrokerBot. If you understand what workflows are, I've set them up, go to the main page, look at them. Um, they do have a solo account if you like BrokerBot and you want to do your own stuff. It's only 99 bucks a month. Now you don't get all the stuff that we've uploaded it, but what they're taking this for is a lot of B2B, so business to business with BrokerBot down the road, where there's a lot of agents out there that maybe the brokerage doesn't have it, and an agent wants to sign up for something like this. And that's a good thing. So let's get into any other questions before I get into what we're going to talk about today. If not, I will then share my screen. So, question for people here. What's the number one thing that a seller says about their agent when they have a listing that's going active on the MLS and they don't get any feedback or information? I never hear from my agent. I don't know what's going on. What takes a lot of time with your sellers every week is you tell them, well, I want to do a weekly, I will send you a weekly seller report. I'll gather all the information. I'll let you know what's on the market, what's coming on the market, what went into pending, what is active on the market, what their competition is. I'll also give you feedback about what the open houses were, all that stuff. All that stuff takes time. Let's say you've got 5 active listings on the MLS and you want to automate that. Well, that's where BrokerBot's going to come in real handy for you because now you can automate that and make it give you so much more time back in your day. So here's your problem. We discussed that. You got 5 active listings. That's 60 minutes of seller weekly report every Monday that you got to get back to that seller to let them know that you're on top of things. If you're the unlucky one and that property's not in escrow yet. And what happens is most agents actually skip the seller updates because it takes too long. Or you got stuff planned. You got a busy day. You got to do your lead generation. You got to solve some problems. You got an escrow problem, all this stuff. And then what basically happens is the seller starts feeling ignored and they say, well, I never hear from my agent. I never hear from my agent. So this is going to solve a lot of that. So what can you automate? Example is you can automate the days on market. You can go out and search for online views and saves because sellers are always looking at that themselves, right? You put a home on the market, all of a sudden they're looking at Zillow and they're seeing how many people saved it as a favorite. New listings in the neighborhood, the seller's going to want to know, well, what's coming? What is my competition that's come on the market? But it's also important for the seller to know that in case we're starting to talk about a price modification to reflect current market conditions. Because if it's sitting on the market and it's not being sold, it's because of the pricing. And then, of course, price reduction nearby. You need to know from your competition who has modified their price because that's the competition I'm with right now. Also, what went into pending and what closed. And then, okay, so I need to inform them all of this, but then I got to write up an email and draft a new email. So let's automate that too. So if you got your email connected, you can draft the email, it can sit in your drafts. And we talked about the workaround. If you're not using the KW email, there's a workaround for you to go to your personal email, use your KW email, but then transfer it over to your personal email that you're using. And you can schedule this to be done every Monday morning at 9 o'clock. And of course, then you can review it before you send it. But it's not all automated because what needs to be manual? And we all know how agents are so good at giving feedback on showtime when you have that automated. They're good at giving that feedback, right? Is that a yes or a no? No, they're not. So this is the one thing that's probably not going to be automated unless you're getting text confirmations of feedback. So if you do get a text, let's say if you have a property address that's 1234 Main Street and you text the buyer's agent, hey, how did the showing go? What did your buyers think of? You can text that directly into BrokerBot and say, record this text exchange for 1234 Main Street for my weekly seller report. So it's no longer manual tracking. You just text it into Ellie, and so it'll store it until you're ready to do the weekly seller report. So that's the one thing that's probably going to take you some time. Unless agents are really good with showtime, you can then go in and automate that as well too, to tell Ellie or BrokerBot to go in and look at your email for all of the feedback for 1234 Main Street and record that for my weekly seller feedback report. So I was actually using that feature today. I was actually having BrokerBot go in all of my email because I have a legal action going on and I needed to summarize everything that the attorney's been sending me. And because I have my email connected to BrokerBot, I said, go through and look through every email with this information in it and summarize it for me. So it saved me so much time rather than me having to go back and search for every bit of email that I discussed with the attorney. Here's your one sentence setup. And I don't have this set up as a workflow. So if you want to copy and paste this, if you want to take a screenshot of this or whatever you want to do, this is it. Every Monday at 9 a.m., pull all my active listings, check showing activities, scan the neighborhood for a new competition and price changes, and draft a seller update email for each listing. Send me a text when they're ready to review. So you just automate, and you can put in the property address there as well as you want to, if you've got more than one listing. And then it will do it for you. It'll automatically, and it'll let you know when you got it. So that's the new feature in BrokerBot that came out this week. Great thing is you stay in control of the whole situation. You don't need to worry about it going out automatically. What it does, it sits in your email in the outbox for you to review it and make any edits or changes. And before it goes out, you can make those changes and then send it out. You approve anything before it goes out to your seller. 3 ways to feed the feedback. First, forward the email. Either showing time. They use BrokerBay. I don't know what that is, but believe it or not, I had BrokerBot make these slides up for me. So BrokerBay must be another showing service outside of San Diego. You just basically forward it all to BrokerBot, and Ellie will read it and store it for you. So if you are getting feedback via email, just email it in. And when it does the weekly reports every Monday at 9 a.m., it's already set up. You can text Ellie feedback for your property. The buyer loved it, kitchen, backyard small, whatever you think would be important that the seller would want to hear. And you can log feedback with Ellie by just directly by texting it in and say, hey, we had 3 showings this week. Anything that you think should go into a seller report, text it, email it, log it. And Ellie will pick up on it and then help you with your report every Monday at 9 a.m. Here's your pro tip, set up Monday morning. You can determine when you want to do your seller reports. I'm not sure when most of you will do them. Some people will do them later in the afternoon on Monday, whatever amount of time you think, but make sure you schedule it with your seller and let them know that as part of your service, every Monday at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you're going to get a report from me with everything that's active, pending, current on the market, your competition, and what the feedback is from the open houses. Whatever that report is, let them know, and that's going to be a bonus in your cap to let that the seller thinks, wow, this person's on top of it. Feed the feedback as soon as it comes in. Don't wait until Monday. You can customize the tone, tell Ellie write casual and conversational, use bullet points, keep under 300 words. If you have an existing seller report that you use, upload it into Ellie and say, hey, use this as a template for my seller report that I want you to go out every Monday at 9 a.m. And then you can also combine it with a monthly market report for even more value. So unfortunately, if you have a listing that sits more than 30 days, do a monthly real estate market report for just their zip code. Automate that as well too. Anything that you can take it off your plate and automate is going to make it so much easier for you and get more done throughout the day. So again, what's automated? The market data, the comps, the email drafting, and the scheduling. What's manual? The showing feedback only. How much time do you save? Well, a report like that usually takes about 60 minutes. You can do it in 5 minutes or less. It takes you 60 seconds to set it up. And forget the solo plan. It's not 99 bucks. With KW Metro, it's free. Any slide in there people want me to review?
I have a question.
Yeah,
How do we stop it from running its automation if we want to take a pause?
tell it.
Okay. So it has some sort of database or record and say stop this one automation and it'll just give up on it.
Yeah, and you'll know because if you have it set up to go out every Monday at 9 a.m., I'm assuming it will be in your outbox. That email will be sitting there for you to approve and get ready to send. It's not going to send it automatically.
Sure.
So if you need to stop it, just say, hey, I don't want to do it at 9 a.m. every Monday. I want you to pause it, or I want you to send it at 2 p.m. or whatever.
Sounds good.
All right. Who has a real life example where you could set this up? Who has an active listing besides Matt and Bridget?
I do.
All right. Well, I want to see if you're going to be in this week, so let's set this up for you.
Yeah.
And we'll use it as an example, and we can see what it looks like.
Great.
Okay. That's all I had for BrokerBot training this week, unless anybody has anything else they want to cover or ask.
Would we be able to, you talk about setting up, connecting our email accounts and command and all that. I haven't done that. Would we have time to do that, like go through that and show us how to?
I'll
'Cause
walk that through really quick right now.
Great, because I got to the Gmail one and it says Composio would like access to, and then it has a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, I don't know if
Composio.
yeah. So it says sign into watch, go through it, and
So
it'll.
you're on the main page here. And by
Mhm.
the way, if you're new to BrokerBot right here, when you sign into BrokerBot right here, learn how to leverage Ellie. If you click on that workflow right there, that will walk you through everything about Ellie and how to do stuff like that. But what Karina's talking about is integrations.
Mhm.
So the integrations are basically done in settings. So on the left-hand side, very bottom of the screen, you see my cursor circling. It says settings. Click on settings and then go to the top where it says integrations. So the current integrations that BrokerBot uses right now is Gmail or Google. So your calendar, your email. It also does command. If you're an Outlook person, use Outlook. You can connect your Outlook. It does do the KW Canva, which I used this week to make these slides. And they have also new Follow Up Boss. And also it can connect your Google Drive. So if you're using the KW Google Workspace Google Drive, I've connected my Google Drive because I put everything into my Google Drive that's important. And then instead of me having to go and search for it or download it, then upload it, I just go because it's in my Google Drive. I say, hey, search for this document. And then it will find it in my Google Drive and it pulls everything in. So I don't even have to worry about that one. And then they have Microsoft OneDrive as well too, and they have more coming. So, but the big one is the KW command. If you don't have your command connected, get it connected because the import of a contact and command is so quick now. If you have a what's the hardest thing to why Well, real estate agents are really bad at keeping their database up to date because they got names and contacts on yellow sticky notes all over the place. Well, now if you just want to import a contact into Command, all you got to do is like sometimes I just take a screenshot on my phone from an email I get because it's got the person's email signature at the bottom of their email. And that's all the information I need. I take a screenshot and I text it into Command. I say, add this to Command contacts, and sometimes I'll put the tag on it as well too. And otherwise, other times I won't put the tag on it. I'll go in and manually then adjust my tags because sometimes I don't remember all the tags I have in there. And I might want to add them to different tags as well too. And then if I need to put them on a smart plan, I can automate that as well too. So that's a really good feature. So what you do, Corinne, is just go into integrations and then start connecting your KW stuff.
Yeah, I started to do that, and then I mean, would it be possible for you to disconnect and do it again so I can show you? It's brings up some Composio stuff. Like look
Which
at
one on the Gmail?
on the Gmail.
All right, I'll
See,
disconnect.
see it says
yeah.
Composio, and then if I go here, then it says
Sign
So I
in.
check my KW
huh? See, it's Composio, and then
and I click continue
yeah.
But
and
what is
continue.
Composio is probably
What-
some
what?
intermediary solution that is allowing BrokerBot to connect to your Gmail. So you're giving permission to Composio to connect to your Gmail, basically.
Okay, and I have for me, I don't know if you went too fast, BB, but it says select what Composio could access, and it has like 10 things like read, compose your email, see your language preferences, view your street addresses. Like, is it okay to select all?
I mean, I do.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I'm like, I don't know what to select on here and I don't know who these people are. So, all right.
So
Well,
with me, let me go back because with me, it said I had 12 selected. So
okay.
hold on, let me show you. Click my KW, continue. Right here, see the 12 services?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See all those. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
no, you want
that
to
okay?
you want to
Okay.
have it access to all of that.
Okay. Great. That was my big question. I'm like, who are these people? What do they want?
So again, if you're not, the workaround is if you're not using the KW email address, know your KW email address and you can connect it to your KW. But if you're sending from a different email, then you can BCC or CC your other email address you're using. So I have one agent that actually uses both. And so everything that she sends me, she's using her KW, then she has her other personal email address that she's got it on. Because she wants everything, she wants a record in both. So it's easy to do that.
And
All
if you
right.
want literally everything from your KW forwarded to your personal, there's other ways in Google to just tell it to forward everything it gets to you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I appreciate your guys' time today. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know who
Thank
set
you.
up a seller weekly report. I want to see what it looks like.